Welcome back to Fun Times Football. It's not Friday this time because there's a Thursday match on, so it's actually Thursday, but it's still Fun Times Football, always Fun Times Football. I should really look in the camera when I'm doing these intros. Likewise, for the past few weeks, we've got Sam and Ashley with us. How you doing, fellas?
Yeah, really good.
Merry
Mate.
Christmas, I guess.
Yeah, I'm on holiday now. Yeah. Christmas holidays, so let's go.
That's all right for you, man.
It's all right for some.
It's all right for you.
It is.
I might struggle a little bit today at times because I am. Sorry.
That's all right, mate.
Yeah.
Teachers, getting all this time off. Don't do anything.
Yeah. Never learn the lesson.
That's why I went.
And with that terrible joke. With that terrible joke, I'm
Merry Christmas, this is Fun Times Football.
Oh no!
You weren't expecting that way, Sam.
I really rate that. Okay, that's brilliant.
We conspired to do it just before the pod. Just before
there is no one else out there like us right now. That is brilliant.
And we're all Christmas
exactly.
Up, which is a good point as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's 3, 4, 5 days early.
It's our festive episode.
But what is it? It is. So, first game. I put Spurs first just because
why not?
City haven't got a game and Norwich are in the Championship. So, and it could be.
And it's a good game.
It could be quite a tricky game actually. Spurs at home against Everton. Everton flying at the moment. Probably one of the most informed teams in the league, right?
Yeah, surely.
I think, yeah. It's a very exciting game.
They've thrown their 10-point deduction against the wall and shat on it. So,
they're
doing very well. Spurs,
I think
look like we're hitting a bit of form. Yeah, definitely. They weren't looking good before it, and
maybe they should stop protesting about it. Just like it's actually helped them. Like they don't want it now. They don't want to get if it gets reversed, it'll be fucked. But maybe they'll get some more deductions. Fucking power on. But Spurs are looking. Yeah, they beat Forest. They got rid of Cooper, didn't they? So nailing Cooper's coffin. Yeah,
they got their manager sacked.
Yeah, I hope you feel good about
that. Which is a bit harsh.
Really good about that.
I thought they played all right against us, to be fair. But I guess it's like they're just not getting any they're not getting any results, are they? So
no, not at all.
I don't think they've upgraded though.
He's more solid. You'd think he'd be more solid at the back. And I was actually hearing some stats about that Nuno Espirito Santo has normally around a 50% win rate with any club he's at. He even had that at Spurs, which if he gets a win rate like that with Forest, they'll stay in the Prem.
They'll probably will anyway. Anyway, we'll save that for the Forest game. Liam, how are you feeling?
Yeah, tangent.
You know what? I'm actually reasonably okay. The annoying thing is we're missing Basuma, Adogi. So that's two big misses.
Everyone else.
And plus the other injuries that we have. Madison, Van der Ven. Lo Celso's injured. Bentancur's injured. So we'll probably end up with either Højbjerg or Skip starting alongside Star. God knows who's going to play left back because Davies is playing centre back at the moment. Dyer will probably come in with Romero and have Davies playing left back, I'd guess. But it's going to be an interesting one. And I reckon Everton will probably step back and just try and counter. But
I'll tell you what,
that's the way to play against us.
Kulusevski looked good against Forest, from what I could see. So
he actually is looking a lot better under Ange than he did under Conte, which is nice to see. He's sort of showing the signs that we saw when we first bought him, like getting some goals, getting some assists. He's actually got one of the highest GAs in the league, I think, at the moment.
Okay. Nice. Very nice.
Which is interesting. I think Brennan Johnson will be fit again as well, because he only took a shot to the face.
Yeah, he's not on the injury list,
No, so it should be fine. Yeah, I'm feeling quietly confident, but the way Everton are playing, anything can happen, right? So
This is,
I
for
guess
me,
we'll
this is
see.
like definitely one of the most unpredictable matches of the weekend. This, you got Spurs
Yeah.
who started off flying, and then they had their kind of crap run that went through the 4-1 defeat Chelsea, which wasn't deserved, and then they lost to Wolves, and then they managed to spend 2 weeks sorting themselves out and got a point at City, and now they've got a couple of wins in a row. But then Everton, they just seem to, they're playing like a, I don't know, what is it? If they'd not had the deduction, they'd be, is it 9th? They'd be above Chelsea.
Yeah.
So they're not obviously they're not a 16th spot team, not like they were last season, the season before. I think I fancy Spurs to get a result, but only because you're at home.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably
I think
right.
you're legit. I think if it was at Everton, I'd actually kind of go for an Everton win, but I really think the home advantage will do well here.
Yeah, I hope so. Richarlison seems to be doing all right at the moment as well, thank
Another
God.
little subplot against Everton, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
of course, yeah.
So I wonder what he'll do if he scores. Maybe he doesn't celebrate, but he's a bit of a shithouse, isn't he? So he probably will. We'll probably
He
do
will
an
definitely
Adebayor.
celebrate.
Of course he
Yeah,
will.
of course he will. It's Richarlison, man.
He'll celebrate
Full
anything at the
Adebayor.
moment. He'll take what he can get.
He will run the length of the pitch, celebrate in front of.
I
the
don't think
sure.
that. Thing is, he's not a player that. There's obviously since the deduction, when you follow things, when you start looking at things on Twitter or what used to be Twitter, when you start following it, those posts come up on your timeline more. So there's a lot. I see a lot of Everton tweets now, and I think there's a couple that they still, all the fans still like Richarlison. They don't hate him for leaving or anything. Like they're going, "Oh, what a great weekend! Richarlison scored for Tottenham. We won." So I don't think he'll get a bad reception. So really, he shouldn't be a twat if he scores. But it's Richarlison,
No.
so I probably will.
You don't know, do you? Loose cannon.
He's an idiot.
Cool. I think it'll be a tight game. Everton will be tight at the back. I'm going to go for the same scoreline we got against Forest, 2-0. 2-0 Spurs.
Okay. Ash, you want to go? Give you the honours.
Yeah, I'll jump in there. I'll actually counter what you were saying, Sam, because Everton being away is probably more of a threat. They're actually 5th in the Premier League away table, level with Liverpool.
But who have they played in those away games? Burnley.
That's a good point. Burnley, Forest, Palace. Yeah, not exactly. Yeah, West Ham. Not exactly prolific.
Not Tottenham.
Teams. Not Tottenham, true. And also, and Tottenham's record against Everton, I always remember them sort of having a good record, and I've just seen a stat that they've only lost 1 Spurs in 21 head-to-heads.
But you're still going to counter me, though.
I was countering you about the fact that Everton were the away team being a weakness.
They are the away team. Oh, okay.
That being, I don't think there's a weakness. That's not a weakness. And the way they're playing,
no, I don't think that's a weakness. I feel like Tottenham being at home is a strength. I didn't say Everton being away is a weakness necessarily. It's not.
Okay.
They're not mutually exclusive.
To me, they're not mutually exclusive. That's the way I heard it, Sam. No, I think Sean Dyche has made them into a proper Dyche team now. Like they're that team that they've got, that reliable centre forward Calvert-Lewin, who's not reliable in terms of injuries, but you've got
more like Beto, yeah.
Yeah, but Calvert-Lewin's playing like 60 minutes or so at the moment. I think they're trying to ease him in. And at the back in the league, they haven't conceded for 465 minutes, which is quite mad as well.
They've got 3 really decent centre backs. Like I don't really know their first choice centre back partnership, because you've got Keane and Tarkowski, who have been the regulars. Then you've got Gerard Brantwaite as well. Yeah.
But having said that, they did just lose yesterday, didn't they, against Fulham, which is a bit out of character.
I won't take any
penalties don't count.
How much do you read into that? I don't know, but I do think Everton will manage to scrape a draw here, because I think they'll sit deep and it'll frustrate Tottenham. I think it'll be 1-1 with a Richarlison goal, obviously. Yeah,
with a Richarlison goal,
of course.
I'm gonna separate you two and pull up a seat between you, and put myself at 2 on Tottenham.
Okay,
nice. I feel like that's acceptable. I'll take that. And for the late game on Saturday, probably the most exciting game of the weekend. Hopefully, the most exciting game of the weekend.
Give me a draw.
Christmas.
Although I thought Liverpool United would be quite an exciting game,
Yeah.
but it turned out to be awful. But I think Arsenal will play at Liverpool, which will play into Liverpool's hands a bit more, and it should be more open and a bit more back and forth basketball style. I hope.
Yeah.
I hope it's an exciting game.
This will be.
I mean, what do you say? Like, do you think it's too early to call it a league title 6-pointer, or
No,
No, there isn't.
no, not. It's not. It's, I feel like it's a 6-pointer only because, and this might be more out of hope than expectation, but only because every year City get to the new year and they go, that's it, let's get 10 or 15 wins in a row. So if they want to really stamp their authority on the league, if they draw this, that's not going to be, obviously, it sounds stupid, it's not going to be helpful to either of them. It is a 6-pointer because I feel like if City do that again, if they lose the league by 2 points, that could come back to this game.
I mean, it's obviously going to be a completely different proposition to United, isn't it, for Liverpool? Because Arsenal aren't going to sit back and park the bus and try and get that 0-0. But I really want the draw. I know, obviously, I don't want City to win the league. You know that's no secret. But I want Villa to fucking go top at Christmas. How mad would that be if they draw and Villa beat Sheffield United, which they should? I actually do think it will be a draw, though, because I don't know what's going to separate these two, really. It's really tricky to call.
It is very tricky to call. I mean, Liverpool have been on fire, really, for... Are they... They'd be unbeaten if they didn't lose to Spurs, right? Am I right in saying that in the league?
Is that the only defeat, is it?
They haven't lost in the league and other than the Spurs game.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
So
they've drawn a few. Yeah.
Yeah. And Arsenal haven't been... Arsenal keep getting these last minute Havertz at the back post goals to win games, and
haven't they just lost one game as well?
Yeah.
There's two they've lost.
Two?
Newcastle
and Villa.
Oh, Villa,
yeah,
of course. Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think it will be... If anyone's going to win the game, I think it will be Liverpool, but I could see a big draw, like a 2-3-4 all madness.
I agree with that, Ash. I feel like it's going to be... Liverpool will find it easy to break Arsenal down than they did against United.
Yeah.
Because Arsenal will go for it. United, I mean, I said they have nothing to play for. They do have stuff to play for, but when you watch them, you wouldn't guess they have anything to play for, would you?
No.
Obviously, Arsenal have a hell of a lot more to play for. They're going to go for it. I hope, and I do think, I do agree. I think it'll be a draw. But I'm just saying this a lot. I said it with my heart. But my head is kind of agreeing. I feel like Ash said, there's nothing really to separate them. I don't know. Liverpool needs to take the chances, and that's something that notoriously Darwin Núñez doesn't really do.
What did Billy say the other day?
Wandy Carroll.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. I'm gonna commit early. Sorry, Liam, you've not asked me, but I'm gonna commit to a 2-2. Desmond.
Yeah. Fair. Nice. Yeah. Ashley, what are you saying?
I think Arsenal are better defensively this season than they were last season. They seem a bit more secure at the back, so that'll help them. So I don't think they'll concede more than one, actually. I was going to go for 1-1. Again, on the fence, 1-1.
Nice. I'm going to go for a wild score, I reckon. I'm going to go 4-3 Liverpool.
Fuck, you know.
I'll shoot into that one. That'll be a crack.
Was it this game last season that I think I seem to remember it was Arsenal had gone 2-0 up, and then something happened right in front of the Kop or right in front of one of the stands, and
it was
I think
and Trent,
and then Trent kind of turned to the fans. He was like, "Come on, give it all," and then Liverpool got back into it and drew 2-2. Yeah.
Yes, it was the start of when they started to
collapse. Yeah,
because they drew with West Ham the week after.
Yeah, as a City fan, I see that as one of the moments that it all started to kind of unravel.
Massive moment. Yeah.
4-3 Liverpool, Hand.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very similar to the game that Spurs played at Anfield last season. Just absolute madness. So 4-3. That's what I'm going for. I wasn't sure if Billy was joining us, so I chucked West Ham in here. West Ham, but it is quite an interesting game, to be fair. Two teams that are quite close together in the table. Struggling for form, but still winning the odd game or winning more games than you sort of think by hearing about the form. That's West Ham versus Manchester United.
Yeah, I feel like this is quite an even contest, I reckon. I think we've. Thing is, though, I keep getting these ones wrong because every time I go, I feel like so and so are a better team than Man United. It comes off wrong. So, Fulham will beat Man United. No, Man United won 1-0. Everton will beat Man United. No, Man United won 3-0. So, but this one, I genuinely think that the role that I don't know, West Ham have got some really good players at the minute. I feel like just picking two out of a team that has got a few, Kudus and Paquetá, they definitely walk into Man United's team at the minute. So would Jared Bowen.
Yeah, and Bowen, yeah,
and they've got more. They've got more. Ward Prowse. I'd probably even put Zuma in there ahead of Varane.
Soufal probably would.
They've got
half of their team would get in.
Yeah, and I can't pick out one or two Man United players that have been as good as those players this season. So I feel like I fancy a West Ham win.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Yes, Kudus is looking unbelievable at the moment, isn't he?
He's a snip at 35 mil, isn't he?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Definitely.
Like, who did they play the other day? Wolves. Yeah, the goal that Kudus scored was just ridiculous.
Yeah, and the celebrations in front of the Wolves fans are even better. See those?
No.
Well, they
saw the
jumped
goal.
to the advertisers. They jumped to the advertisers.
Oh yeah, they sat down and stared at them.
Yeah, that was it.
I didn't realise that.
I mean, what do you do as a Wolves fan? Because you either ignore it and you look like a dick, or you get really rattled by it and you look like a dick. So you can't really win, can you?
It's probably the ground where he's furthest away from the fans in terms of like.
Wouldn't do it at like wouldn't do it at White Hart Lane, would
ground.
Yeah. But I can't see, and I know Man United will win after I say this, but I can't see Man United winning.
Only because you've said that, all I can see is Man United winning now.
But 1-0 last minute Rashford, it's something stupid. But I just feel like West Ham are a better team at the minute. Obviously, if everyone's at form on each squad, then Man United are a better team, but they're really not anywhere near that. So I don't know. I just got a feeling West Ham will get 3 points.
Nice. What score do you reckon?
I think United will get one. I wouldn't even be surprised if United went ahead and West Ham came back and beat them. But I'll go 2-1 West Ham.
Nice. I'm gonna say, West Ham are just in good form at the moment. Other than the fact they're losing at the moment, but
are they?
Yeah, 2-0.
That's them out there, isn't it?
But they're at Anfield, so like,
yeah, it's not a shock, is it?
No. I'm gonna say West Ham fans will carry them through. I'm going to go 1-0 West Ham. I think it'll be tight, scrappy. United won't want to give anything away. Yeah, 1-0.
1-0.
Well, kudos to you guys, because I'm going to also go for a West Ham win. Liam, stop it. Pack it in. Anyway. I can't think of one for Bowen. Yeah, I was going to go 2-1 as well, actually, with Sam, because they're really. I mean, it's annoying that Liverpool are winning for two reasons. Because I feel like Liverpool might actually win the League Cup, which is not as exciting as another team winning it, I guess. And another reason is that West Ham have only lost one of the last 9. It's quite cool, the fact that they're doing so well. I quite like that. So I think they'll get back to form against United. 2-1. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Liam, just to interject quickly, did you say 4-3 Liverpool or 4-3 Arsenal?
4-3 Liverpool.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think Arsenal will win. So yeah. First topic of the day. I sort of put this in a bit tongue in cheek, but kind of serious because it is expanding next year. So, fellas, the question I have for you is the Club World Cup pointless? And what does it offer? I mean, they're expanding it next year as well after next season. But yeah, I guess Sam, your opinions as a City fan and the only fan here that's
Yeah.
experienced it.
I don't know. I don't. I don't think it's pointless because any trophy could be considered pointless. But I guess I'm only going to say it's not pointless because we're in the final of it, and it might be silverware, and it's silverware that not a lot of teams get to win. Like, although only 6 teams take part in it, it's still a chance, and it's stupid. It's still a chance to call yourselves champions of the world, and it sounds so childish, champions of the world. But is it pointless? It's not the most prestigious tournament, is it? It's obviously 10 times harder to win the Why are you answering the ring doorbell, aren't you, weirdo? It's obviously 10 times harder to win the Champions League than it is to win the Club World Cup. But because I do automatically think that as soon as you get to the Club World Cup, if you're the European team, if you don't win it, then that's a bit embarrassing.
Well, the Brazilian teams are always pretty good in it, right?
Yeah, they're not as good as the European teams. They can't be, can they? Surely every time this tournament comes around, the European team must be the favourite every time.
Yeah. I mean, you'd think so, but
I wouldn't call it a pointless tournament. I'm looking forward to seeing it expand when we win the Champions League this year as well. So yeah, I don't know.
Well,
what's the expansion? What's the plans for expansion? Do you know?
It's expanding it to. I've got it here. So it'll expand to 32 teams starting June 2025. So it'll be immediately after the preceding season. It will include divided. I'm trying to think. So
the Champions League that starts changing next season, isn't it? Champions League,
yeah. But I think it's including like the winners of the Champions League, the runners-up, the winners of the Europa League, the Copa Libertadores winners.
Well pronounced, that mate.
Was that right? I don't know if it was.
Yeah, I think you did it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Libertadores.
Yeah. Trying to think. Here we go. Yeah, so it's going to be massively expanded. But
so I think in answering the question, Liam, is it pointless? Yes, to anyone that's not in it.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. So it's 2 clubs can qualify from one country for the new 32-team tournament, and England's 2 places will go into the most recent Champions League winners. So currently Chelsea and Manchester City.
Cool.
And Arsenal could qualify if they win the Champions League this season.
Mm-hmm.
I think it needs to develop because it is a bit boring. You never know when it's on.
Right. So if Arsenal, so say it is Man City and Chelsea, then that'll be for June 2025, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if Manchester City win again, it'll be Chelsea and City.
Yeah, but
okay,
all right. For me, that's not right though. Surely Chelsea are like not one of the 32 best teams in the world.
So here we go. Europe will have 12 clubs in the 32-team tournament, and the spaces are allocated based on performances in the Champions League over 4 seasons, from 2020 to 21, up to and including this season. So if Arsenal win the Champions League this year, City and Arsenal would go through.
Yeah, but even if Arsenal
and 2 more.
That's just from England. The only way you could get more than.
Yeah, I need to read up on this. I don't want to get into it too much on this because we're confusing each other.
Yeah, I would. So I don't think it's pointless, Liam. But my thoughts on it are that it's not fit for purpose. So if it's saying it's like the Club World Cup, you're champions of the world, surely it's got to be the toughest competition to win. Then it's got to be like the crown and jewel.
Yeah, but it can't be though.
It never will.
Okay, so exactly, it's not going to be as prestigious as it's supposed to be.
But then I think if you build it up and you put 6 teams from Europe in it, those 6 European teams are going to dominate it anyway. It'll turn into a mini Champions League.
Yeah, it doesn't. I just don't think it's going to work.
I get the point. I get the point.
The Champions League. The Champions League's the pinnacle. Like it's essentially like it's a lot. Like Sam said, it's easier to win. It feels more like a pre-season friendly tournament to me.
But is there a chance? Is there a chance that the way they're expanding it leads to other leagues being able to develop better if they have regular competition against the best teams in the world?
No,
Does that make
because I don't
sense?
think because I don't think because they'll need the resources to do that. They'll need the players, and I don't think you're going to attract the players just for a tournament for a short period of time in June. Say you've got teams from like Asia or like you said, Brazil. They're still not going to develop their teams enough to compete with Europe because Europe will always be ahead. So I just don't think it'll ever work. To be honest with you, I don't see the point. Well, okay, so I said it wasn't pointless, but I'm leading
You nearly
towards it
said-
now, Liam. I don't see the point. Can I give you a fun fact?
You can.
Sam said that obviously it'd be really embarrassing if the European team didn't win. Who was the last European team to not win?
Chelsea. I've just seen it.
yeah, Chelsea in 2012.
Just looking it up. So out of the 19 tournaments there's been, the winner has come from Europe 15 times and Brazil 4 times. So it's dominated by those two continents, and mainly,
It's like it reminds me of the Super Cup, where you have the winners of the Champions League and the winners of the Europa League. Don't really get. It feels a bit like
that works for me.
It's not. It's okay. It's like the Community Shield. It's like okay.
Yeah. So what's wrong? And what's wrong with that?
It's not the most exciting thing in the world, is it? It's like it's a match. Yeah, okay.
Now is the Carabao Cup.
But the Champions League, it's when you've got the Champions League, it's like I'm really interested in that. I want to tune into it. That's exciting. This isn't in the same way at all because it's actually competitive, the Champions League. But anyway, what do you think, Liam? Where are you standing on it?
Yeah, I think if it was something that was held more sporadically at a larger scale, it might be more interesting. Do you know what I mean? Like do it in between the Euros and the World Cup.
Yeah.
And then have it as a larger tournament.
Yeah.
With they working it out however they want to work it out, but having more than one team from each league go into it. So it's as it says, 32 teams. I think that could make it more interesting, and they're more likely to get upsets. I mean, the US their league must be getting more competitive now because they're pumping the MLS are pumping quite a lot of money in, right? And they've always got a good system for bringing athletes through from youth groups. So
have you seen the new rules they've got?
Oh, the substitute rules.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if it's pointless, but I think you're right. It's not fit for purpose at the moment, and it just seems like an interruption to a season for a team. Like City are going to have to come back and play the day after Boxing Day against Everton, right? After playing 2 games this week.
Yeah, we're playing tomorrow. We've still got 6-day rest, but it's coming back from Saudi Arabia. Oh, sorry, no.
Yeah, but
it's Friday, so it's a 5-day rest. But
away to Everton. Ooh, that's not the easiest game to come back to. It
could have been worse. We had a game. We've had a game postponed this weekend, so
yeah.
Right, we were meant to play Brighton, I think, or
Brentford. Yeah,
Brentford. Cool. Well, we'll leave it there as undecided whether it's pointless by our opinions. And we'll jump straight into Wolves at home versus Chelsea.
Christmas Eve game. First Christmas Eve game in a long time.
It is. Yeah. It is Christmas Eve. Yeah, which is amazing for the Wolves fans because what a lovely day out for a football fan on Christmas Eve. More than likely, you're going to be off work. You're going to be pre-gaming on Christmas with a lovely fixture of football. For the Chelsea fans, you've got to travel all the way to Wolverhampton. No trains
Get beat
are
and
running.
then come back.
Yeah, that's waiting for someone to say that. Yeah.
Get beat by a scrappy Wolves team and travel back to West London. So
not a good day for Chelsea.
No. Christmas ruined. Dad will get home absolutely pissed and burn the Christmas tree down, presents underneath it and all.
I'm not dressing up as Santa for you anymore.
But yeah, in all seriousness, it does look like it could be quite an interesting game on the old Christmas Eve game. Chelsea are favourites for it for some reason. I guess they should be really, but I don't know. This Chelsea team is so hit and miss this season. I don't know.
I can't really call this one.
It's a hard one, isn't it? Because Wolves, I feel like have been quite good at home. They
Yeah.
beat Spurs
They
and
have,
City at
obviously.
home.
Beat City. Depends
Chelsea
which Wolves
will-
turns up, doesn't it?
Chelsea will try playing at them, so I imagine that'll work in Wolves' favour more than Chelsea's. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna say it'll be a 2-1 Wolves win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the same.
Oh fuck! I was gonna go the same as well. No way.
It's happened.
There we
It's
go.
finally happened.
It's happened. You
It's
should have
finally
some sort of
happened.
theme tune for that. You know?
We've all got the same results.
A trifecta
Oh,
of
God.
predictions. It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
I just think that I just every
Yeah.
game Chelsea go into, I just feel like there's a goal in them, but then there's mistakes in them.
Yeah.
And if the Wolves that beat Tottenham rocks up, all that last half hour against Tottenham, and then the way they played against City, if that turns up, I don't think Chelsea can do anything about it. If Wolves are under par, Chelsea got the players to take advantage, but I'm quite hopeful that Wolves will rock up on Christmas Eve, take the 3 points, go back home, and start the piss up.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. That's funny. We've all gone for the same score.
Wow.
Gary O'Neill on the Gary O'Neill on beers. Gary O'Beerill.
Well, yeah, throwing darts at pictures of the VAR officials because God knows what's going on there still.
Be careful of Johnny as well, smashing things up around Christmas.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I hope
Just
they don't lose it.
Don't get him to be the Wolves Santa for Christmas. He'll start throwing kids about.
Okay, yeah.
Moving on swiftly on to
segues nicely into
Crystal Palace Brighton. the kid kickers Crystal Palace. That's what they call them, right?
No, Chelsea are really with fucking Hazard kicked that ball boy, didn't he, a few years ago? That's the only
Against Swansea, yeah.
incident I could think of. Yeah. This is the Thursday night game, so it's a good job we're doing the podcast early, so we're getting this game involved in it as well.
Yeah, it's crazy. That got moved for like police reasons, didn't it? Because they didn't want too many teams. Yeah, they didn't want too many teams playing in London all on Saturday.
Okay.
I believe is the reason they moved it.
They don't like each other, these two, do they?
It's supposed to be a derby, but they're not really very close.
They class it a derby. No one else classes it a derby.
No.
It's Brighton's closest team, isn't it?
It's like Man United and Liverpool. It's not a derby, is it?
No, but they both think it is. So
true.
Yeah.
It's a rivalry.
I just think Palace are terrible.
Is that because they got a draw against you last week, mate?
That's been that. Yeah, just they're crashing back down again this weekend. Or tomorrow, sorry, but no, I don't know. I think
more than
I predict. I told you, Liam. I told you on the podcast last weekend, and Ash will attest to it. I said they're our bogey team, and no matter what we do, we always seem to struggle against them. No matter what, even at 2-0, I was like, nah, something's gonna go wrong. And I was down in the bar playing darts, and Chris's phone went off, and I said, yes, it's full time. Oh, no, it's not. That's 2-2.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it was. He went mad, and it was start of a heavy night. Anyway, so yeah. I don't know. I've got a Brighton winning. I just feel like Palace will be exhausted from their World Cup final on Saturday, and
wow.
Yeah, they'll be a bit tired. Brighton have a performance in them.
Really got it in for Hodgson, haven't you?
They ruined me. They ruined me on Saturday.
Ruined my Christmas.
A 75-year-old twat.
It did provide one of the best images of the season, though. Roy Hodgson smiling over as Pep's like all pissed off.
Yeah, man. Owned by an OAP. Yeah.
Wry smile. Yeah. In fact, just an update: Liverpool have gone to town on West Ham, and they're now 5-1 up. Blimey.
Whoa.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
I did not expect to say that.
Unrelated to this game, but I have nothing against Palace. I'm quite happy with the fact they got a draw against City. Spices up the title race a bit more. But Brighton are, like Sam said, they probably are going to, they're not going to be at 100%, I don't think, after that draw with City. They put a lot into that. So I think a Brighton win. I'm going to go 3-1 Brighton.
I think Palace will be buoyed by the by the draw against City.
Nah,
I
I'm
don't
not
think.
having this, man.
It's the problem we had last time. Are they going to be buoyed or exhausted with this?
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
week ago, so I'm not. It's almost a week ago, so I'm not really counting too much into that. I think they'll win. I actually think Palace will beat Brighton. I'm going to say 3-2 Crystal Palace. I think there's going to be goals galore in this game.
3-2 Palace.
I'm going for a high scoring pre-Christmas period.
Interesting.
3-2 Palace.
Okay.
So,
Nope.
next game.
I'm going.
I mean,
Hang on, I've not done mine yet.
I didn't think you
I
had.
thought you did. Oh, sorry. That's my
going-
bad. That's...
Palace 0, Brighton 7. No, 2-0. 2-0 Brighton.
You'd be cutting if it was 7 now.
You will, yeah. Cool. So that moves us on to a game we can probably talk about quite quickly. Aston Villa versus Sheffield United at Villa Park. It would be really funny if Sheffield United were the team to take away Villa's unbeaten record at home. That would be hilarious.
Wouldn't it be so Premier League, yeah.
But
yeah, it would be.
I can't see it happening, and I can just see Villa absolutely smashing them 5 or 6-0 or something. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I feel like they're doing the whole. It sounds weird to say it about Villa, but teams win when they're playing badly and they're up against it, and they were up against it against Brentford, and then obviously the red card turned it all round. But they hadn't played well in that game, and they still came away with 3 points at a ground that, well, we lost that last season. So they're doing things the hard way, and they're getting the points. They won't win the league. They will not win the league, but they just keep getting the results. And I feel like
that's been saved. That one.
I'll say it every week until they win the league, and then I'll be like, okay. I just no, I agree with Liam. I feel like there's no hope for Sheffield United. No hope.
No,
I like that you said it would be the most Premier League thing, because it really would be. Like, that's why I love the Premier League, because literally you never can predict it. It just throws you off completely. That's a good job of doing a predictions podcast. I think it'll be. I don't think it'll be as emphatic as 4 or 5. I think it'll be 2-0 to Villa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sam found that funny.
No, I'm not. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I think
Say
I am
2-0.
gonna go for Ash said 2-0. I'm gonna go for a mad one.
Behave.
I'm gonna go 5-0. 5-0 seems to be a scoreline a few teams are getting this season. I'm gonna go 5.
Fulham.
I think Sheffield United may grab 1, but I've gone 4-1 Villa.
Yeah, fair. Moves us on to a nice, fun topic for a pre-Christmas period. Probably halfway through the season at the moment. So the question I would like to pose to you, gentlemen, is who would you say is the most underrated player in the league at the moment? Can be from any team. Just who do you feel like is playing really well and not getting massive?
I've come up with a
recognition?
few. I've got a short list of 7, but I was quite interested to hear your guys first.
Liam, you go first.
I did it last time when I had all the players that were.
Yeah, you did. So, I would say James Ward-Prowse is going quite unnoticed. I mean, he's sort of been touted, but I think he's playing quite well for West Ham. He's not really getting many on the stats, but he's being quite a orchestrator. You not feeling that, Sam?
No, I agree. He's playing. I agree. He's playing really well, but I feel like he's not underrated for it. I feel like he's rated perfect. But I must see it more than you, as in the ratings.
Yeah.
No, he's definitely having a good season.
Maybe I don't listen to enough football and stuff, but John McGinn for Villa.
Yeah, that's mine.
I feel like he's one of the best players in that team, and he's absolutely bosses games. Like
He's my. I've got 7, but he's my most
Is
overrated
he?
player. Sorry, underrated player in the league. Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
He's so brilliant.
Yeah, I was thinking whether Kudus is, but I think he's starting to get recognition now, the way he's scoring goals and what he's sort of been doing.
The thing is, you
So
could
he's in
pick
the. He was.
pick 4 or 5 from West Ham
Yeah.
because I feel like you could pick Kudus, you could pick Bowen. Yeah,
Yeah, someone who I'd say for Spurs would be Pedro Porro.
I looked at that.
I think he's gone very under the radar. I think
What's he done, though?
since he's joined Spurs, he's got the 3rd most assists for a defender in the league since he's joined Spurs. And he's playing very well this season. I feel like getting the ball, his passing. There's been a couple of games where he's not been quite at it, but when he's at it, like some of his long passings, just absolutely incredible. Like his assist for the Richarlison goal against Newcastle, the second one.
He likes having a crack as well, doesn't he? He likes having a crack.
Yeah, he doesn't score many, but yeah, he's I think he's going under the radar.
Yeah. I think go back to West Ham. I think there's, like I said, you can probably pick 4 or 5. I've picked out Edson Alvarez. Because he never scores and he gets booked every game, but he's just that player that he's like a Mexican Roy Keane in that midfield. He's just scared. If I was up against him, I'd just run the other way. He's a scary little guy, but he's brilliant. And then I've also put Thomas Souček, who seems to be having like one of the seasons of his life at the minute. He went on a run where he scored in like 5 or 6 games in a row. And that midfield at the minute with those two and Paquetá and Ward-Prowse, I think pretty much the whole team at West Ham at the minute is underrated. I've also put down, again, Villa, another one of those teams that you can put about 5 players down, but I've put Pau Torres down.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Diego Harless is brilliant as well, but I think Pau Torres is like, no one ever speaks about Pau Torres. And when I watched him against City,
okay,
I watched him against City, and hang on, you got the same issue that I believe, Ash. What do you think? You've seen him getting praised?
Yeah. Sorry, I was reading a post the other day, which was the Premier League team of the season so far. A lot of people were commenting that Torres should be in there. Probably just Villa fans,
but he wasn't.
But he wasn't in there. It was a bit Van Dijk was, which I thought, has he better than Torres?
Popular choice.
Yeah.
And then I've also got 3 other shouts. I've got Lewis Dunk, who is just cool. At 32, he still looks like he's like mid-20s. He's just so solid for Brighton. I think he is the player I believe that has made the most. Not that it really matters because it's all Brighton like knocking it about. He's got the most passes of any player in the league. And then I've got Dominic Solanke at Bournemouth, who is getting a goal every 2 games for a team
that's a good shout.
Yeah, that's the one I had that on my list.
Yeah, and then the last one I've got is Abdoulaye Doucouré at Everton.
Oh, I've got that as well. He's having a great season.
Everton are getting results left, right, and centre, but we just covered it earlier. They haven't got centre forward because Beto can't score, Schmidt never plays, and then Calvert-Lewin can't even make it for an hour. You look at where their goals are coming from. They're a lot of them are Doucouré. And he's obviously that enforcer, like a bit like Alvarez, who he's keeping that team together. And he's having a cracking season.
He's sort of gone because he used to be more of like a defensive midfielder, didn't he? He seems like to be.
But like, Onana's doing that now, so he comes forward a bit.
Yeah, he's like a number 10 now, which is weird because he used to be like defensive midfielder.
He loves a goal. He's like a, not that he's the same kind of player at all, but he's a bit like Lampard. He just arrives in the box and just a smash one in.
Yeah, he's doing really well. He's having a great season.
Yeah.
That works nicely because I've got him on my list. I also have another Bournemouth player, which wasn't Solanke, but I think Semenyo looks awesome. And nobody's talking about him, but he's so quick and he's supplying a lot of the goals for Solanke from the wings, so he's working well.
He's an ex-Bristol City player, though, so I'm not having it.
Is he?
He went from Bristol City to Bournemouth, yeah.
I didn't actually realise that. I've gone for a Villa player. So we've gone for a Villa player, but I've gone for a different Villa player. Who have I gone for?
Luca Digne.
No, I went for Douglas Luiz. Sorry,
give
me a chance. Give you a chance there, Liam. Do you want to guess?
Is it Douglas Luiz?
Yeah, Liam. Well, it's actually Douglas Luiz. Yeah, he's I don't know. He's probably
Fair play, Liam. Well done, mate.
he's probably rated more than the guys you talked about, so he's not as underrated. But he is just phenomenal. He's a powerhouse in that midfield. They've got a great team. They're great to watch.
It annoys me
But-
because the way he's developed, I feel like he wouldn't look at a place on our bench when we got rid of him. Not that he'd want to sit on our bench, but we could. I'd definitely take him back now.
Yeah, it'd be useful, wouldn't it? But Sam, you've got Rico Lewis, and he's the other one I've got on the list, who I think is going to be amazing in the future. He's a real prospect. Not talked about enough, I don't think. Very good.
Doesn't play enough though.
Doesn't yet, but he's like Foden. Pep's obviously working him in, and he'll
of course,
as he did with Foden, and he made it worked really well with the Foden because he developed into a great player. So I think that'll happen with Rico Lewis.
I hope so.
My list, obviously, with Decore as well. Yeah.
Nice. Good shouts. Any would you disagree with John McGinn being the most underrated player at the moment then?
No.
No. I'm not sure. He's probably on a par with he does a different job really to Douglas Luiz, and obviously a different job to Pau Torres. I'm fully with you on Torres though. That's a great shout.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a compilation of times that John McGinn has lost the ball this season, because I don't think it'll be very long.
10 seconds.
The ball stick when City played against Villa and against Arsenal, the ball just stuck to his foot. He's like, I don't know, it's a Scottish Messi. No, I don't know.
He's going to be a driving force for Scotland in the Euros, and I'm really excited for the first game of the Euros, Scotland-Germany, because I think there could be an upset there. I'm getting ahead of myself, but
the reason I think he's underrated is because where's he been for where's he in a weird way? Where's he been for his whole career? Because he's now 30, 31.
Yeah. And
I just burst out of nowhere and had this amazing season. I think he is the driving force behind the season they're having.
Maybe Emery brought some special supplements with him when he came over. brought some sneaky stuff.
Some iron brew straight from Scotland. Iron brew. Have this, John.
Yeah. Nice. That was good. Enjoyed that. I think it might change by the end of the season, but we'll never know. We will know in 6 months. We'll never know. It'll be in 6 months. Don't know what I'm talking about, honestly. Which moves us nicely on to Nottingham Forest versus Bournemouth. Shame about Steve Cooper. I imagine the Forest fans are probably quite upset about it because I know they loved him, but maybe not as upset as they would have been if it happened a month ago. Obviously, it's been a very bad run of results for him, so hard to keep your job in the Premier League when you get those sort of results in a long period of time.
I always think it's harsh. I always think it's harsh to sack a manager after they've had a bad result at a top team.
Yeah,
you can't send him into this game going, if you get beat by Tottenham or City or Chelsea, or you're going to get sacked. That's so unfair. If they'd lost to Sheffield United, I get it, but you can't lose to Spurs and go, oh, that's not good enough.
Yeah, I don't know what they're expecting.
Yeah, exactly.
Where do they think they're going to be? Well, maybe we should have got Dan Brockwell to give us a little Forest sort of
segment,
voice segment on here to explain his thoughts. But
I feel like
their past few results
not great, are they?
No, so
but you can't. But how is that the ceiling blow? How is that the?
Well, they lost against
to Tottenham.
At home.
God, you must be bad.
Drew against Wolves away. Lost 5-0 against Fulham away. Lost against Everton at home. Lost against Brighton at home. Lost against West Ham away. But they beat Villa at home. That was, when was that? Beginning of November? So they haven't won a game since the beginning of November.
Yeah.
That's mad, yeah.
I feel like the fans will get over it quite soon, because I think I actually feel like that Nuno is actually higher. He can do better than Forest.
Yeah, I feel like Nuno's a good manager for the period they're in.
He can do better than Forest, Ash.
He's around that level though. I would.
It's a bit like Sean settling for you.
We're around. Yeah, we're about the same level. It's all good. I don't know about Santo.
Ho ho ho!
You threw me. I like Steve Cooper. I don't think Forest are going to be any better than bottom half team though. So
Not for a while. It'll take a while to get there. But
I fancy Liam's new manager bounce on this one.
do you? That's interesting
I
because
fancy the bounce.
I think it will be a draw just because Bournemouth are playing well right now. Like they're quite a hard team to play. Probably not the sort of time you want to play Bournemouth. When if you need a win, I don't think Bournemouth's the team you want to play right now.
They'll be in a weird situation after Saturday as well. Are they going to come out?
That's very true. Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. They're going to be a bit shook up, aren't they?
Shook up and didn't finish the game. Don't know where. It's got to replay the whole thing now. It's just a weird thing to happen. Obviously, I don't know how you react to that as a player, but
yeah. Well, someone's got to keep well running, haven't they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be a draw. I think a new manager bounce, but that probably is a new manager bounce, you know. Forest Bournemouth. I mean, Forest fans will say they should be beating Bournemouth, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to say I think it'll be quite tight. I'm going to go 1-1.
okay. I'm not sure if the players would like down tools for Steve Cooper. So if they had, and they suddenly start, we've seen that before with teams like the players.
Oh yeah, lost the dressing room.
Suddenly a new manager turns up, they all start playing again. If that's the case, then yes, they have a chance at a win or a draw. But I think that's not the case, and I don't think this game will have been enough time for obviously Nuno to do anything. So I think Bournemouth will charge in. And I think Bournemouth will win 3-1. I think.
Well, that's a.
I don't think it's a wild shout.
It's a big shout.
I think the 3 goals is a bit of a big shout.
Semenyo and Solanke, mate. You watch.
I fancy Nuno Espirito Santa Claus. It's a gift, Forest fans. Gift Forest fans 3 points this Christmas. He'll bring home the 3 points.
You planned that.
I'm going to go Forest 2-1. 2-1 Forest.
We've all got different there. Interesting.
Yeah, someone's getting 2 points.
Yeah. Someone's going to get ahead of the rest. Lovely. So that moves us on to Fulham versus Burnley. Don't really know if there's much to be said about this one.
Bit rank in it, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, Fulham last time out had a bit of a weird one. Jimenez decided to
Kung Fu Panda.
Just jump at someone's face. I don't know what he was thinking. Obviously, he got a bit of a smack like a couple of minutes before.
Yeah, he did. It was quite bad. Yeah.
Newcastle get away with that. Like they get away with it.
It's just him as well. Him and Joe Linton.
I don't understand. But it's going to cause someone to get injured soon if they don't start getting reprimanded for it. Like Jimenez is lucky he pulled his leg away. He looked like he was just going to kick him in the face.
Yeah, not great.
No, but I think Fulham will still have enough to beat Burnley. Maybe not as emphatic as the previous big wins, but I think it'll probably be 3-0, I'll say.
Yeah, I agree. I've got the same again.
That's pretty emphatically.
Not as much as 5-0 though, is it?
Not as much as 5-0. I always try to big up Burnley and they're going to be fine. No, they're not. So I think they're going to lose 2-0 in this one.
Yeah,
I've given up on backing Burnley now.
I don't think Fulham anything. Well, I was about to say nothing special. Obviously, they went from winning 5-0, 5-0 to getting beat 3-0. But it would have been interesting to see how that turned out if Jimenez hadn't turned into a ninja. So it's hard to tell. But I think who comes in to replace him?
That's a very good point. They do have they've got another striker.
Was it Vinicius? Do they still have Vinicius?
He scored in the penalty. He scored a penalty last night, and Bobby Reed as well.
So is he their first choice striker? He must be. Yeah. Oh, they've got someone called Rodrigo Muniz as well.
Oh, was he at Tottenham? Oh.
He was at Middlesbrough. And Flamengo.
Wow, quite a pedigree.
Yeah, so I think it looks like he's a. But then they've got that Willian Iwobi and Wilson, they're quite good.
So I'd actually written 3-0 Burnley, and then I just asked that question because I didn't consider who's going to replace Jimenez. So I am going to knock it down and join Ash on the 2. I didn't think about the goal scoring point.
To Burnley?
So you said 3-0 Burnley then?
Yeah, you did say to Burnley, but you mean Fulham.
I do mean Fulham. Sorry.
Cool.
Yeah, Liam, rare bet, that one.
Yeah, that would be the rare one. Lovely. So, Champions League draw happened this week, and it was favourable to Arsenal and City, I would say, which is quite good for the two English teams.
It was going to be that the second part was awful.
Well,
you had PSG, like that.
I don't know. You had PSG. Who else was in there? There was a couple.
PSG. That's a good game. That is because I think Sociedad can get something out of that.
I think Sociedad will win that. You had
that could be an upset.
Was it Atletico or Inter? Yeah, Atletico or Inter in one of the second pot because they're playing. They're playing each other. So one of those was in pot 2. There was some big teams in there. Like,
I apologise.
It wasn't.
You're right.
No, it's not. No, it's not the most exciting. You're right.
But I think it does definitely helps the English teams go further forward, which is good for the coefficient at the end. End of it all. Looking at it, I mean, I've been thinking about it. I don't think my opinion has changed on my 2 favourites. To be honest, before the competition even started, my 2 favourites for the Cup were Man City and Bayern. And I'm probably leaning more towards Bayern Munich, if I'm being honest, winning the Champions League this year.
They won't win a trophy.
What, because Kane's there?
Yeah, because Kane's I actually... No, okay, go on. Carry on, Liam. Sorry, go on.
No, I just think the addition of Kane to Bayern Munich is... Maybe they do a bit of business in the January transfer window as well to strengthen up. I mean, they're leaking quite a lot of goals, so maybe they need to show themselves up defensively.
This is it. I think and for the first season in a long time, they're not having it all their own way in the league. So
it's great.
The reason they do so well in the Champions League is because they just storm off ahead in the league, and then they go, "Oh, happy days, we've won the league in January." Although saying that, they did have to win on the last day last season, so I take it back. But
yeah,
and they didn't do very well in the Champions League last season because they didn't piss the league.
Yeah, they faced Man City, wasn't
it? We knocked them out in the quarters, I believe.
Yeah.
And it was very easy for us. Yeah,
it was quite convincing. Yeah.
So I mean, see how the league's looking by the time they get. Who have they got in the last 16?
Bayern. Lazio.
Oh, they shouldn't struggle there, should they?
No.
And by the time the quarterfinals come around, we're in March, and that's another 2 or 3 months away. We'll see if Leverkusen drop off, and I guess it all depends on what you're in, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, go on then. Who's got something different then? If you,
I've got the same 2 as you, but I've also
I haven't. Yeah,
you have. Or you haven't?
No, I haven't because I think Bayern are fallible. I don't think because the thing is, I was thinking they lost 5-0, didn't they, the other week to
5-1 against Frankfurt.
That's it. I can't imagine City ever losing 5-1 against anyone at the moment, realistically. So I think the only team that probably Palace loads of Palace. So I think of the other big guns, Real Madrid. I think you could
never count Real Madrid out, can you?
They love the Champions League and they've got Bellingham.
Ridiculous.
It's just ridiculous at the moment. Barcelona are not the same team they used to be last season, nor Napoli really. PSG, I think, I'm with Liam. That could be an upset. Sociedad. Yeah, I can't see anyone else. I think Man City are the ones. I literally can't see, or Real Madrid. Yeah, those 2.
I've got the 3 that we've discussed. I've got City, Madrid, and Bayern. It's just the obvious 3 in it. Bayern, you said, with Harry Kane there. They've got that. They've got because I mean, what do they have a year or 2 ago? Choupo-Moting up front, and they've now got Harry Kane.
I'd say it's an upgrade. Yeah.
No matter what they're doing or how they're doing in a league or in a cup, if Madrid are in the Champions League, there's always a chance they'll win it.
I was about to say I didn't count them in because they're just always in the conversation for winners.
It's just their thing. And then I've obviously got to have City for head and heart reasons. I just feel like it's similar to what the same reason I gave for Bayern and Leverkusen. Like if we're out of the league title race then we'll definitely do better in the Champions League. It depends. It depends. If
won't
us,
be.
Arsenal, and Liverpool are all in the same points with like the Champions League going on behind us,
Yeah,
I don't know. You can never tell.
Obviously, a lot will depend on the quarter-final draw, where Arsenal will obviously draw Bayern, as they do every single time they're in the Champions League.
9-0.
Yeah, every single time. I couldn't believe they didn't draw this time. I realised they're in the same pot.
Do you know what
also,
my
Go on,
dream for my dream for this Champions League is
Harry
just
Kane
to
knocking Arsenal out.
see Harry
Yeah.
Kane knock Arsenal out with a last-minute winner at the Emirates. That would just be
yeah,
sublime.
I can see it happening.
That would be so sublime.
The only other thing I wanted to say was that I actually find the Premier League a lot more exciting than the Champions League this season, which, yeah, it's a really good season.
Cheers, Ash.
Love it. I think, well, just saying. Do you not agree that it's a lot more exciting? Normally, the Champions League is a lot more interesting.
I don't think the Champions League's ever like mad. Like, I don't think it's ever exciting. I don't think you get games until later on where, obviously, when we played Real Madrid, it's crazy. Like, I'm not excited by playing Copenhagen.
No.
And I did one thing that I did find funny that I don't know if you boys will have seen is that there's City are quite notorious for getting slightly easier draws in certain competitions. So when we drew Copenhagen, there was a bunch of Man United fans that went, "Oh, City always get the easy draw." but hang on, didn't they just knock you out of the tournament?
That's
made me laugh.
And Arsenal are still yet to play a Champions League team, even after the round
no
of 16.
No one's really mentioned Arsenal. Yeah, yeah.
They're apparently playing the Europa League.
They had a crap group, didn't they?
And then they get Porto in the round of 16.
They had a crap group, but I mean, after being out of Europe for a while, they took care of it quite.
No, and it's obviously joking because teams in the Champions League, they're not going to be crap, are they? Like,
I think Porto from 20 years ago would have fancied this, but I don't think they have much these days.
No.
In fact, it was 20 years ago from this year that it was their season.
Oh wow, yeah, of course, Mourinho, yeah.
The Champions League does throw some rare upsets in there occasionally, doesn't it? So you never know.
Copenhagen, bring it on.
Yeah, shut up.
That would be nuts. That would be Copenhagen's greatest day since Hans Christian Andersen. Nice. So yeah, we'll think that 3 teams are very, very much in the running for it. And that moves us on to our last game of the week. Luton versus Newcastle at Luton. Now, I don't know what there is to say about this. Luton are going to be obviously shaken up by what happened with Lockyer. You reckon they'll do it for what? You reckon they'll do it for him?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Denmark went on that mad run after Eriksen. What happened to Eriksen?
That's very true. That did happen, didn't it? That did happen.
They've got a bigger reason, I don't know.
There's higher things at stake.
Yes.
Newcastle, more injuries after the League Cup as well.
I don't know. Right. I feel like if it takes one of your players having a cardiac arrest on the pitch to play well, I feel like there's something wrong.
Well, no, but it's like it gives you an extra 5 or 10%, doesn't it? Like,
yeah,
I
think managers should.
But then they want it to happen all the time. Then
I think they should employ that tactic. Yeah.
Whose turn is it this week? Whose turn is it this week?
Start hiring people with arrhythmia.
Pacemakers.
Get that extra grit about. Yeah, right.
Oh god.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we'll see the standard. They'll all come out at the start of the game with Lockyer shirts on. Good atmosphere.
They'll do something for it. Yeah.
I actually think I can see Luton getting some out of the game here.
So do I. I was about to say that. I think
they've scraped 2-1 wins. Oh, sorry, they've scraped. I don't know how you scrape a defeat, but
they're just losing
Liverpool,
games, aren't they?
Arsenal. Yeah, I feel like Newcastle aren't in the same ballpark as Arsenal, Liverpool, and City. I think they might actually. I think it'll be a draw.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting. I'm gonna back Luton here. I think
here we go. He's doing it.
I think they'll win. I do think Luton will win. I really do.
I'm
Like,
not going to argue with you, mate.
If the table was based on your predictions, Luton
No,
would be
they
in the
won't.
Champions League. But they win every week, Liam.
I don't predict them to win every week. If they're at home,
it'll come in 1 week, Liam. It'll come in 1 week.
If they're at home, I'm not going against them. To be fair, not now. They've played the bigger teams at home. I think they'll smash everyone else.
I think they lost by a goal against Tottenham, didn't they? Of course.
Yeah, and they battered us that whole game. Really, like they put a really strong showing in. They were much better than I thought they were going to be. We did have we did have Basuma sent off in the first half.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to go Luton win 3-1.
Blimey.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Newcastle looking vulnerable. I know they smashed Fulham, but there's obviously Jimenez got sent off. But Trippier looked a bit shocking. Had another mistake, didn't he? Against
he's having a weird season, Trippier, isn't he?
Having a strange one. Doesn't feel
he kicked off at those ball. Yeah,
for the Euros.
A bit of a weird season.
Well, we got ripped apart at Everton. He got ripped apart at Spurs.
Bournemouth
didn't have a good game against Bournemouth. Made the mistake last night, which led to the equaliser.
He made 2 mistakes against Everton, didn't he?
Yeah.
Both the first 2 goals he messed up for,
Yeah.
And that'll be where they're going to get at him, because that's what Luton do. That's how Luton scored against us. Is they went down the wing, chucked a long ball in, big man got the header.
I had a stat. I don't know if it's still relevant, but there was a stat a couple of weeks ago that they've got the best sort of cross I think I saw that.
I think I saw
success in crosses. Most successful crossing.
Not scoring wise, but winning the ball when it's been crossed. I think.
Yeah. That's the way they play. And if they've got Trippier having a shocker, then that might be their way in. I still think I can't see them winning though against Newcastle, so I'll go for 1-1.
Yeah, I am in the Kerwin camp. I'm going 1-1 as well.
There we go. Well,
lovely.
There we are, chaps. Lovely little roundup. Enjoyed that. That was fun. Thank you very much for joining us. I guess what we're going to do for the Boxing Day games. I haven't really. Well, I guess we'll just leave it. I guess let everyone enjoy their Christmas. All 5 of them.
Don't listen to us on Boxing Day. Yeah. 3 of us.
Yeah. Give you a listen. Give you a listening. Enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy your Christmas, Gibby. You don't have to listen to next episode.
I don't miss that one anyway.
We'll be back. He won't, because he'll be at his parents' house. He's not going to do it from there, is he? Unless I'll get him around mine. And we can
get the Gibsons. Get the Gibsons on.
Yeah, I'll get him here. Right, nice one, chaps.
I should be at mine as well.
Oh,
there you go. The next. That's weird. Swapping house swap.
Well,
swap friends.
Yeah, okay. We'll
talk about a different time.
I'm going to run the I'll run the Christmas one actually.
Happy Christmas, this is Valentine's for